Hi guys, I've made a mistake. Not just one, well, one main mistake. Two, several, I don't know. I'm not okay, but it is okay. But yes, so my personal optimism is kind of being challenged right now. And I'm very sorry for what I'm about to tell you. Especially the 6 of you who have pre-ordered a lump voucher. It looks like I can't launch on Friday. Obviously, don't worry, I can refund you, just let me know and I'll send you the money back. I bought these LED modules. Some of you in the comments might be like, I told you so. Yes, thank you, I know. I could see, I saw your comments and I was like, no, it's fine. But the more I looked into it, the less fine it got. It's like, the truth is somewhere in between. I'm rumbling. Let me start from the beginning. So, I bought these LED modules to use in my labs. I decided to look into the testing requirements again and the product safety requirements, because I couldn't quite. I wanted to find out what exact tests I need to still do for the CE level, for example. And then basically it said to me, you can't do it yourself. Like, you just have to go to like an agency or something, they do it for you. And that costs like 1,000 to 3,000 euros per model at least. Obviously, I don't have that kind of budget. I thought because the LED module comes with certificates and the material comes with like data sheets and everything, I have all the parts, they're all individually certified. It makes the whole thing almost certified. I knew there would still have to be some tests, but not all of them again. And last night it sounded like that was just completely wrong. Like, I have to do everything again. And it's kind of the kind of test that I can't do myself. I have to go and have them done in a lab. So then I was like, shit. So there's no way. For the US, still it's not as strict. Like, I know you have UL, for example, but that is not mandatory. You're legally required to make sure that your product is safe. Obviously, I don't want to sell a product that's not safe either, you know. I hardly slept, got really stressed out about it, and then this morning discovered a new feature on ChatGPT called Deep Research, which is actually, I mean, just off topic. That's crazy that that's possible. I put together the whole description of my product and the question of what I need and what kind of tests are required for the EU first. And for the US. And it spent, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes researching and putting everything together, and then came up with an overview of what I need. And I thought, okay, so this is a lot, but at least it gives me the beginning of an idea of what I actually need before I bring it on the market. Like, I'm not required to have some testing body do it for me, but in the UK and the EU, I am required to have certain records of my testing, and they have to be in a certain format. It's a very complicated format. It's really difficult to find out how exactly I need to write it all down. As long as they're all correct, the documents, I'll be okay, most likely. I'm very worried about all this information now, because what if it's all wrong again? It is possible. It's just that I can't do it in 2 days. Because it's so much to figure out, first and foremost, what I need to do. And then get all the stuff that I need to make to do these tests. And then I need to triple check. Like, I can't just, again, now rely on all this information and then in 2 weeks find out that it's not going to do and I have to go to TÜV after all and spend 3,000 euros. Oh, that was kind of oddly therapeutic. I feel like this has helped me. Guys, I have prepared a presentation for you. If you feel like you're in a Zoom meeting, I'm very sorry. The problems. We have 4 problems to address. They're all concerning. CE reporting. It is very specific, strict, and complicated. Even once I've done the testing, I have to write it all into like reports. If the government comes to me at any point and is like, give me your reports, what kind of testing have you done? And I need to give it to them in a specific format, long, painful files and reports. And if you don't have them, then you can get big fines, and there can be product recalls, and you can basically ruin yourself financially. Problem number 2. CE testing is complex. Can possibly be done at home, but not 100% sure, because it is almost impossible to find all the information necessary for this. There's only specific people who have access to this information. They have a master in testing, they're test masters. If you're not a test master, then good luck with that. You are allowed to do your own testing. It is allowed, but try, bitch. I've asked ChatGPT, it presents you all the research with references and everything. But is it correct? What if it's wrong? I've asked it before and it has been incorrect. And then I rely with everything on what ChatGPT says, because I can't find the info anywhere else, or because I don't want to spend several years reading through all the legal texts that the EU has come up with. There's like, I don't know how many people working there, and if they wouldn't come up with new rules all the time, they'd have nothing to do. I like the EU, I like free travel, but I don't, what the hell? Anyway. Problem number 3. PLA might not pass the faulty product heat tests. Alternatives come with issues. So PLA, under normal circumstances, room temperature or even slightly warmer, it doesn't matter. Like, this is cold, there's no heat in here. I mean, inside, the parts that are touching the LED module are not PLA. They are fine for heat and flammability and things like that. But the lamp doesn't just need to be safe under normal circumstances. It also needs to be safe when it ignites for 3 to 5 seconds. Like short safe, like quick heat and then the heat is gone again. It can't start burning if there's like something at 650 degrees Celsius somewhere near it. But would that be like putting a candle in there? Ooh, this is getting soft. That's not gonna burn the base, surely, because there's the other material in between anyway. But the lampshade, potentially. I found a material called Flame Guard PLA or something, which should be fine. In white anyway, there's loads of options, but not in the nice colors, that's the problem. Do not ever try this at home. PLA is not suitable for open flames in any way, shape or form, okay? It will melt. Should we test that quickly? Let's see what happens if I put it into the flame. Maybe let's take a smaller piece in case. Set myself on fire. It burns very fast. Smells okay. It's a good thing, isn't it? It doesn't smell toxic, but I think that's the problem that we're facing here. Melting hot plastic, even if it smells nice of sugar, will drip down onto whatever surface it finds itself on. and then that surface might catch fire. This is my number one concern here. And number 4, the LED module is not safe. It has sharp edges and no strain relief, yet it comes with certificates. We have a problem. I have to really look at these LED modules in detail, because what have they tested? I can do a heat test myself, and I can do an electromagnetic interference test potentially myself if I'm allowed. I have to look into this, but I could. But the electrical tests, I would like to have my own testing set up, because then I can make as many lamps as I want and I can always test them myself. But is it possible? Possible scenarios. Yay. Everything's fine. I can do everything in-house. It's not super expensive. I just buy the stuff, do the tests, be done in 2 weeks, have a report done in 3 weeks, because that's difficult as well, and then be ready. Medium fine. Need a suitable alternative for PLA. Certain ABS is fireproof and it's not eco-friendly, but it also comes in several colors. There's some orange as well, for example. It comes with there's other difficulties, like I can't really print ABS on the Bamboo Lab A1 unless I am a bit creative. Is it at all possible under today's rules and regulations to have an eco-friendly lampshade? Maybe not, because even if it's fabric, it needs to be treated with some sort of material, like sprayed, that's not flammable, and I guess that's also not eco-friendly. I'm not sure. Would I do that? Would I print an ABS lamp? Potentially. Because they're so pretty. Ouch, but okay. At least one of the tests needs to be done in the lab, like one of the electrical tests or whatever. But because it's just one test, the price is acceptable. So I pay, I don't know, 200 euros, 300 euros to do this test, which is very annoying, but I would be willing to do it if I don't have to do it for every single model. I guess it would be for the module, for the LEDs. And then, last but not least, the worst case scenario, abort mission. That is, if I can't do any of the testing myself because ChatGPT was wrong, and that would mean I cannot sell the lamps at this stage because I do not have that money. That only works if you know you're going to sell thousands of lamps, if you have a mass production. If you don't, then it doesn't work. Which makes me think, like, that can't be right, surely. I think I can do it myself. Even if I have to get all the equipment and spend 1,000 euros in testing equipment, then it will still be better for me, because then I don't have to spend the money every single time I test a new lamp, you know? So it would be an option even. Another option. And I mean, these are just examples. Obviously, there's different scenarios. Also, yeah, things might turn out completely differently. And also these, like, durations, I just made them up. Like, could be more, could be less, whatever. A big risk. I spent weeks to months in the testing phase and end up with absolutely nothing. That has to be avoided at all costs. I'm starting a business here. This is not a joke. I'm not here like trying to tinker and then fail. This is not an option. Failure is not an option. Adjusting course or like dealing with obstacles and all that is normal when it comes to starting a business. The solution. Solution, guys. It's all about the solution and the fireworks, you know. Launch now. Start with easier homeware products while finishing lamp safety procedures. With now, I mean Sunday. That's my twitching eye. What does this mean? What does it mean? It means two things. Firstly, it means if you have bought a lamp voucher, please let me know on Patreon if you would like to have your money back. Because I will send it back to you immediately, and I will apologize, and I'm very sorry that things haven't turned out the way I thought they would. It is possible that I will have these lamps ready in not so long, but also 2 weeks probably won't be possible because now I will spend a proportion of my time developing other products. The lamps won't be ready before 1 month from now, at the very earliest, in the best case scenario. Also, by the way, I'm talking about CE and EU stuff a lot, and I know a lot of you are in the US. The issue here is that in the US, while there isn't such a thing as mandatory testing, it is mandatory to sell a product that is safe and not unsafe. You're not allowed to sell an unsafe product. So if something happens, I need to prove they have done testing. Here we have the government that fines you a lot of money. In the US, there's consumers who will sue you for a lot of money if you do something wrong. So we have to avoid this at all costs. So products. It has to be homeware products. That is number one. And it has to fit with the general style and design that I've already chosen, which is sustainable vision. I do have a sustainable vision. This is how it always ends, isn't it? I could make these lamps out of ABS and then plant a tree with every lamp. But I feel like this is the silly thing that companies end up doing because there's just no way around toxic materials. I mean, ABS is not toxic for you if you have it, but it's toxic for me when I print it, and it's just not natural. It's just, yeah. What are the odds that these are safer than my LED module? So this sort of vibe is what I need for the products. And the products, I am thinking sort of office desk organizer, containers, jars, things in sort of these shapes with these materials that are very similar looking actually to my lamps. I know this is pink, okay? This is very pink, I'm sorry. Not everything will be pink, of course. Blue or dark green with maybe white on top. Or like blue and yellow. So these are the colors, and out of these colors I will make shapes, and those shapes will be functional shapes for sort of storage. Also plant pots. How cool would that be? I could make all sorts of cool plant pots. The only thing is that PLA is not waterproof. Obviously it can be painted with varnish, but I need to do some testing on that. And if I want to launch the website, at least with some sort of products by Sunday, I don't have time for testing for now. So I will start with containers. Lid, without lid. Like for example, this one here has a screw lid, a little cat that I 3D printed at one point. That was my first ever 3D design. Over time, I will add more different product categories. And at one point, I might even go into using some fabrics. Also, of course, I will keep filming my testing adventures, so you know what the status is there. I'm wondering as well, I might change the format of the videos because I've realized that I'm just not somebody who's very structured when it comes to these posting schedule things. I mean, I never have been. So now I'm thinking I will probably go back to just posting randomly. And if I do something like a test setup or an unboxing of a tool or something, or design a new product, I might just make a short and then do little updates where I talk about things as videos or something like that, you know? Anyway, guys, I'm still exhausted from this whole experience of being stressed out because everything sort of fell apart, and now I'm piecing it back together, and it will be fine. I think I will eventually figure out how to sell these lamps, but I'm really not sure about the material. I might have to change. I should set the whole thing on fire and see what happens. We will figure it out. It will be fine. But for now, I will start with products that are not as much of a nightmare as lamps are. Start selling, you know, I can't just wait here and not make any money. And I need to get set up my Instagram, my TikTok. I need to have stuff to post there, so I need to have products. Yeah, I think this is the right strategy. It's hard to figure this out, like, but that's what I'm doing. That is starting a business. I just need to make sure you don't making some really, really bad mistake at some point that you can't take back or change. And I think if I would just start selling these lamps tomorrow, that would be one of those potentially really bad mistakes. Sorry, guys. But we will work it out. See you on Sunday. Bye-bye.